Hello. Welcome to episode 33, I think. Yes, 33. Wow. I am so excited today to be going back to a lesson that used to be my favorite. And the words are maybe your favorite too. From years ago, there were so many songs that were A Course in Miracles songs in maybe the 80s and 90s, maybe 2000, that had the words, "The peace of God is shining in me now." It's still a favorite in the song world. But I want to read the first paragraph to you and then talk to you about what it means to me today from the non-dual perspective. So, why wait for heaven? The peace of God is shining in me now. Lesson 188. Those who seek the light are merely covering their eyes. The light is in them now. Enlightenment is but a recognition, not a change at all. Light is not of the world, yet you who bear the light in you are alien here as well. The light came with you from your native home and stayed with you because it is your own. That light is your own, but not you, the body, not you, the ego. Those are my parenthetical comments. It is the only thing you bring with you from Him who is your source. It shines new because it lights your home and leads you back to where it came from, and you are home. This light cannot be lost. Why wait to find it in the future or believe it has been lost already or was never there? We'll get back to maybe some other pieces of this. What I want to relate to is a way that non-duality talks about the ego. And it doesn't very much, it occasionally uses that word. But when I was really living in the blocks to love for many, many years, doing A Course in Miracles lessons, I heard the ego as another way to think. But it's not that the Course actually says that, because the Course says you're not your body. It does say we have very junky thinking. From lesson 1, nothing I see means anything. Lesson 2, I've given everything I see in this room all the meaning it has for me. Lesson 3, I do not understand anything I see in this room or anywhere. And these thoughts in lesson 4 do not mean anything. And then it tells us to think again and choosing thoughts of love or choosing thoughts with God. But I still thought, here's what I thought. I didn't know what to make of I'm not a body. What am I? So I guess I must be my thoughts, or I must be spirit. But what is that? How do I relate to that? It was a little bit of a conundrum for, I want to say 20 or 30 years. I didn't really look at it as a question because I believed that I was somehow in my mind, myself, that that's where where the I of me resided. And now that quantum physics has proven that we're not solid matter and that we don't reside in the brain. So now the eternal mystical question is, who am I? What am I? It requires really waking up in present time from hypnotic thoughts. So I will try and stay awake because I realize I easily get pulled back into hypnosis. And you may too, because I know that's the collective issue. We're all asleep to the belief of who the I is. We think this I is that needing, wanting, craving, competitive, comparative voice that says we're not good enough and we're lacking, and so on and so forth. So we all know what the ego is. The Course does a phenomenal job describing what the ego is. But what does the Course say about being the one who knows, who sees, who watches the ego? The Course tells us to put it on the altar and ask Holy Spirit for help. But maybe what we're doing when we actually surrender to Holy Spirit is allow that self to wake up, that I that has always been us, that never ages, that doesn't die, that wasn't born, to wake up, because something knows that fearful thought. Something is aware of that self that believes it's an I that is separate. The belief that we are separate is an I that is the ego. So that's my contribution today. And if you can get with it, if I describe it well enough, I hope it's an opening for you too. Or maybe you've been here for 10, 20, or 30 years before me. But right now, I'm seeing this whole personal self, this Rosalind that has whatever hair, that has a blue painting, that is talking to you on this device in this room. This whole Rosalind is the ego. Not something in my mind, not something in my brain, not something in some unlocated part. This whole body, this whole mechanism might be considered the ego. And when I go to the location of that which knows that which watches Rosalind interact in the world, that watches Rosalind make this video, that watches and experiences. This is not a concept thing. This is not a mental thing. This is not a believe my thoughts and you'll find that enlightenment is but a recognition. This is just uncovering your eyes to the you that has always been you, that has never aged, that has not been born. That self that has always been you. That is enlightenment. We can all uncover our eyes and our ears. And when we know that we are not this body, I've said that word, I've heard that phrase. We're not this body, we know that. No, you're not knowing that. You're still thinking you're a personal self. As long as we feel and think and act as individuals, we're not getting it. At least that's what's coming to me. That if I see all of this as the ego, I immediately place myself in that which knows or watches or sees this, and I'm free. I'm in the oneness. I'm in eternity. I'm in the life force.